Hey guys, it's Daisy. I'm so excited about today's 3 DIYs. If you know anybody that would love my content, don't forget to share it. If you haven't already, I would really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up so that I know that you love this kind of content. We're going to go ahead and get started, and you're going to need this really awesome red truck from Dollar Tree, a brush so we can go ahead and paint on our truck. Black paint is what I will be using. And then in addition to that, I went to Hobby Lobby and I picked up this sticker pack for $2.99, and I got it 50% off, and I love it because it has a lot of Christmas sayings. But if you don't want to purchase this, you can always either put it in with paint or marker, or you can just buy the stickers from Dollar Tree and do the letters individually. So get creative, you guys. There's so much that you can do, and you don't have to necessarily do it exactly like me. You're going to need a little bit of sandpaper since we want to get rid of the Merry Christmas, since we're going to be painting our truck. And then my theme this year for Christmas is black and white buffalo check with pops of red. So make sure that you get this. That buffalo check paper is 59 cents at Hobby Lobby. You'll need an X-Acto knife, another brush for the Mod Podge, and of course a pair of scissors. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and purchase the big Mod Podge, you can, but if not, the little one that I have that you can see there is actually from Dollar Tree. So you can make this entire DIY project very inexpensive. I like the little trays from Dollar Tree just to keep myself as clean and organized as possible, because you'll see soon I am a pretty messy DIYer. But I think that is how you create beautiful, beautiful products. So let's go ahead and get right into it, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me today. So once we are able to remove our tag, I want to go ahead and get rid of the berries so that I don't, get any paint on them. We will be attaching them at the end. And then after we do that, we're going to go ahead and start by using our sandpaper and getting rid of the Merry Christmas glitter, since this is the portion of the truck that we want to go ahead and paint. I will make you very aware that glitter gets everywhere. Glitter's not fun, but you know what? It's okay. It's not too bad. I literally just took a rag to it, wiped it off, and all was good. Alright guys, so for the next step, be very, very careful with your X-Acto knife and lift up the fender, because we are going to need this flat surface. We will be reattaching this, and that is the reason why I want you to be very, very careful when pulling it. Not to mention that I would hate for you guys to stab yourselves or hurt yourselves. So just be very careful. It's not too hard to get it off, but you don't want to crack it and have to re-glue it. So just be as careful as possible and lift it. All right, and once you have done that, let's go ahead and just use that sandpaper again and get it nice and flat. And now that we have done that, the next step that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and paint the main body of the truck black. And the reason we do that is because we don't want the Merry Christmas to show, and we don't want the red paint to show. Once I finished painting the body of the truck, I decided to go over the tires with the black, just because I wanted it to really be black. And as I mentioned, we're going to be covering a good portion of this, so it's just best to get the tires as black as possible. Now, one thing I did not notice when I started this project is that I did not have a white paint. So there's a little bit of red that's seeping through because I did use my sandpaper and it scratched a little bit of the white off, but it kind of looks cool and a little dated, if you will. So it's up to you. And then as you can see, I'm just painting the edges black because I want to make sure that no matter whether I hang it, place it on a wreath, or wherever I choose to display it, that the angles aren't going to show the wood part. So that's up to you guys if you want to do that step, but I personally love the way it turned out. Now that we've given our paint time to dry, it's time to do the paper. And as you can see here, all I'm doing is I'm going ahead and kind of matching where the paper reaches. And I'm going to go ahead and cut the bottom part that I know I'm not going to eventually use over the tires, but I'm going to go ahead and use my big Mod Podge. And we're literally going to Mod Podge the whole section that we plan on having the paper stick to. This is super fast, super easy, and trust me, you guys, the outcome is just so cute. Once we have smoothed the rest of the paper down, you're going to go ahead and match it up so that it lines up the way that it should. And instead of using a new piece of paper, you're going to go ahead and use the existing piece, and you're going to literally cut it as much as it's needed so that you can go ahead and have it stick down. Once it's stick down, you're going to want to grab a cutting board so that you don't ruin your surface. Alright guys, and once you've done that, you simply have to turn around your actual project so that you can see where you're cutting and cut it perfectly. And this is going to be super easy because you guys have already put down the Mod Podge, so it's sticked one part to this. And then as you can see here, I just went around the actual tires. Don't worry about that being perfect because remember, the fenders are going to be used again. You just want to make sure to leave yourself enough room so that you could actually see the tire. And we never put Mod Podge there. And so for the most part, you should be able to take it off. But as you can see here, I'm honestly just simply going around my project. And then once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and Mod Podge right on top of that. And this is going to create a border protection, and it's going to be really nice and smooth when it's all said and done. So go ahead and make sure that you stick it on with Mod Podge. And once it's down and cut around, you're going to go ahead and Mod Podge right over it and let your project dry. Once your project has dried, you're simply going to go ahead and grab your black paint and you're going to go over the edges of the paper so that it looks nice and clean and gives it that finished touch and that finished look that we all love. I absolutely love the way that this turned out, and I'm really hoping you guys are loving it as well. Alright guys, so next up you're going to go ahead and take your fenders and decide where you want them to lay. Once you've made that decision, I ended up having to cut just a little bit more and then also add a little bit more of the black paint. So just kind of play with your truck and decide how you want it to look. It's super easy to maneuver. Then I went ahead and added the fenders back. I decided to use hot glue, but you can use any type of glue. Wood glue is fine. If you want to do craft glue, I mean, honestly, any type of glue will work, but just get it how you like it. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to the next step. Alright guys, and last but not least, we're going to take our sticker sheet and we're going to decide what we want to add to our truck. And this is going to give it a store-bought look. So I went ahead and decided to go with Merry Christmas because that's what was on the truck originally. And I absolutely love it. I added the cute little stickers and I think it just gives it a complete look. And now that it's done, we're going to go ahead and add our little garland back and give it the final touch, and then our little project is complete just like that. All right, guys, and for our second project, we're going to take this Dollar Tree frame and we're going to go ahead and convert it into a super cute Christmas sign. And these are the actual products you're going to need. I went ahead and started off by putting a coat of black paint on the actual inside of this frame in addition to the circle. And then once I have gotten ahead and let that dry, we're going to go ahead and cut out our paper. And we're going to go ahead and add the paper to the actual box by Mod Podging it. Alright guys, and once we figure out the correct measurements, we're just going to go ahead and put Mod Podge right over this, smooth out all of the air bubbles, and then let that dry. And once you let that dry, we're going to go ahead and perfect it by cutting it out. And then we're going to basically follow the same steps with the different paper, which is going to be our buffalo check paper for the actual circle. So just be patient and let that dry. Alright guys, and the reason I said to be patient is because as you can see here, if you do not let it fully dry, it's going to rip the paper up and it's going to pull the paint that you did underneath. But you know what? I have an easy fix for that. I went ahead and went over it with my black paint and kind of made it look like it was already ripped or distressed, if you will. And I loved it because it's the wood background anyway, and so I think it looks so cool. Now if you do let it dry sufficiently, like I did with the circle, it will actually be really clean edges. And then go ahead and just paint the edges so that they're nice and black and they kind of blend in without you know, seeing that it's paper and then wood. And then we're gonna go ahead and pick out our favorite sticker. We're gonna decide which one we want to use, and once we decide what we're going to do, we're going to simply put it down, and then we're going to attach the circle to the actual wood part. And I went ahead and did warm wishes, and I really love the way it looks. Once I glued it down, I felt like it needed a little extra, and I got this cute little stem, if you will, from Hobby Lobby, and I kind of played with it until I figured out how I liked it. And once I decided how I wanted it to look, I simply went ahead and just glued it down, and you guys, it turned out so cute. And I neglected to say that the stem was $1.99 at Hobby Lobby, and I did get it 50% off. So here it is, the completed product. Alright guys, we've made it to our very last DIY project, and I couldn't be more excited. You're going to need these storage containers, 2 for $1 from Dollar Tree, the foam cone, which is also from Dollar Tree. The dowels are also from Dollar Tree, but this is just what I had left over, and so it doesn't show the packaging. Sorry guys. And lastly, the star of the show, which is going to be the fleece scarf from Dollar Tree. These are so popular because so many people are doing DIYs that they're actually really hard to find. So let's go ahead and get started on our very last project. I'm so excited for you guys to see all of the projects together. I think it looks so fabulous. Alright guys, and next up we're going to go ahead and get our foam cone, and we're going to see how much of this material we're going to need. And you're simply going to go ahead and cut the excess, and we are going to poke a hole with our dowel, and this is going to be part of the tree. And then I decided to use a thicker part as the part for the bottom of the tree. And then once we have that, we're going to add a very generous amount of Mod Podge, and you're going to basically go ahead and stick the material down to the Mod Podge and cut the excess as you see here. Now to stick it down, you're literally going to go ahead and just put Mod Podge all over this material. Just an FYI, it takes forever for this to dry because the fleece absorbs it, but not as quickly as you would want that to go through. All right, once you've got that done, you're going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue on the top, and then you're going to Mod Podge that. Then you're going to set your project aside and literally wait for a good, I'd say at least 3 hours. After 3 long hours, believe it or not, the project was still not finished drying. So I went ahead for the sake of the video and still went through with the DIY project. And what you're going to want to do is cut the bottom so that it's a nice even finish. And then we're going to take our little storage container and we're going to go ahead and paint it black so that it's a nice contrast and it matches our felt material. Once the base has dried, you're going to want to go ahead and also paint the stem again so that it's a nice match and everything flows together nicely. Finally, we're going to go ahead and just add a huge generous chunk of basically hot glue to make sure that that stays. You're going to have to hold that for quite some time. I try to get creative, and at the end I ended up just having to wait, you guys. And as you can see here, I went ahead and got some cotton because I thought it would look so cute, like a little bit of snow. And because it got hot again, the tree basically the glue melted the glue that was holding it up. So again, I try to get creative, but at the end, I ended up just holding it until it decided to stick. Once I did that, I decided that it would be so cute to have a little sign on the tree. So I took one of these jumbo popsicle sticks that are from Dollar Tree, along with a little piece of paper, scrap paper from the paper I was using originally for my other crafts, and I decided to Mod Podge it together, just like I've shown you in the previous projects, so that we could create a super cute sign, you guys. Alright guys, so then I went ahead and grabbed my sticker pack again, and I decided to use this one that says December 25th, and I cut my sign the way I wanted it to look, and then I went ahead and hot glued it to the actual stem, and then I went ahead and added black to the edges, just like you see here, so that it looks distressed and perfect and it matches the other sign. So I really love it, you guys. I hope you've enjoyed my DIY projects today. Please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, show me some love, and thank you so much. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day. Thanks for watching. Bye.